Well, hello everybody. And well, this is going to be our first online class. And well, for today, we're going to review everything that we had in Unit 7. We're going to review the vocabulary and we're going to review the grammar. Now, for the vocabulary, if you recall, we had only some verbs, action verbs that we worked with. Okay, we also technically had colors, but we're not going to review that since it was not part of the exercises, not in the book, not elsewhere, not even in the in the midterm exam that you were going to take but you didn't. Okay, so we're just going to review those verbs. Now, for the grammar section. In the grammar section, we're going to review present continuous. Okay, so let's start with the vocabulary. Give me just a second. Right here. Well, as I said, we're going to review some verbs. Okay, so first verb up is point. I don't know if you remember what point was. A lot of you have difficulty remembering what this was. Point is when you use your finger to show some kind of direction somewhere, or when you want somebody to look in a specific way, or you want to give an answer to something, you use your finger, okay, and you point. Wait. I'm sure you're all familiar with wait. You just stay in your place and you let time pass you by, okay, until a specific event, until something comes that is the purpose of your waiting. Then we have chat. Chat is talk, speak. They're the same things, but chat is more commonly used with internet kind of talks, internet chats, like via Messenger or WhatsApp. Okay, that's more typically used with chat. Stand. Well, you know, when you're on your 2 feet, you stand, you're standing. Run. Okay, just like walk, but fast. Swim. You get in the water, you move your arms, you're swimming. Of course, if you don't sink. Sit in your chair, on your chair, I'm sorry. You're going to sit on your chair. And then shop. You go to Walmart, you go to the mall. For example, here in Puebla, maybe you go to Angelopolis, not now because of the contingency, but in times past and in times to come. You go to those places and you buy things, for example, clothes, shoes, and other things. You shop. Okay, now remember that some of these verbs have a collocation. It's a particle, it's going to be a preposition that typically goes hand in hand with these verbs, okay? And we use these to give us a hint when we're doing exercises. That way we can know, do we need wait for the answer? Do we need chat for the answer? Okay, so we're going to also take a look at the collocations. We only have a few collocations. First one is point. Point uses at. Point at the ceiling, point at your shoes, point at the correct answer, okay? Remember, pointing at, that is the correct collocation. If sometimes in an exercise you see at, you don't know what the answer is, well, point could be a very good answer. Wait. Wait has a couple of collocations. When you're waiting and you're expecting a person, you're going to say wait for. Wait for my sister. Wait for my mother. Wait for the teacher. Okay. Also, if you mention an event, when you say wait for, wait for the storm. For example, wait for the elections, wait for the class. We use to, the second collocation. We use to, which is right here. We use to if, let's see here, let me mark this. Right there. We use to when we're going to expect an action, okay, with a verb. For example, wait to eat, wait to go, wait to have. All right? Okay. Next collocation is with chat. Chat uses with. When you chat with a person, for example, I'm chatting with my friends. I'm chatting with my friends. I'm chatting with my teacher. I'm chatting with my family, etc. Okay. Now, you can use other prepositions, but you would not be talking in the same context. You would be maybe mentioning something different. For example, with, let's see here, let me show you. Let's suppose that here you say, okay. Okay, we're back. For example, if you say, I am waiting, and then here we have it. I am waiting at the bus stop. In this case, you don't have an expectation. You are not mentioning an expectation because you're saying, well, you're saying at. Okay, you're saying at. So when you say at, you don't mention what do you expect. You say that you're waiting. Maybe you're waiting for your sister. You're waiting to see if it's going to rain. You're waiting for the bus. We don't know, but you're just mentioning the fact that you are waiting. Okay, so that's how you can use different prepositions, but the context is going to be different. Your idea is going to be different. Okay, so much for that. Okay, let's practice the verbs now with some visual aids. This first image is point. The hand is pointing at you. Next image is a girl that is shopping. So that is shop. Look at all the bags that she's carrying. That's shop. Okay. Excuse me. Next image is a boy in the water moving his arms, not sinking. So that boy is swimming. Next image is a man who, well, he doesn't seem to be doing anything except stand. He's only standing. Okay, so that's an image that represents stand. He's standing on a mountaintop. Next person is, well, he is on top of an hourglass. Okay, he's letting time pass by. So I would say that that person is waiting. Next image, a couple of people, they're having a conversation. So that is chat. They're chatting. Next image, okay? A lot of people are doing exercise and they're doing it with some pretty big strides. That's running. And last but not least, a person on his chair. Okay, well, that person is sitting. So that is sit. Okay, there we have it. So let's see. Let's repeat this one more time. We have here point, run, chat, wait, swim, shop, sit, stand. Okay. Now let's practice to make sure that we understood everything. Now here we have somebody in the, I'm sorry, I in the pool. Now remember a pool, a swimming pool, it's a place with water. Okay, so what do we do in places like these? Well, let's see here, we swim. So I swim in the pool. Okay, next one. You stand in line at the movie theater. Okay, so maybe that was not very obvious, but if you take a look at this, you have in line. Now, what do we do in line, especially at the movie theater, at the cinema, for example, Cinepolis? What do we do in line? Well, we stand in line. That's why the correct answer is you stand in line at the movie theater. Next one, he runs very fast in every soccer match. Okay, runs very fast in every soccer match. I think this was pretty easy, especially because we mentioned the word fast. Where is it? Right here. Especially because we said very fast. So very fast, he runs. He runs very fast. Okay, so let's see here. Next one up. The sentence reads, she blank at the mall at night. So at the mall, that's your clue. That is going to help you to get to the, I'm sorry, that's going to help you to get to the correct answer. Here we have it, mall. Okay, so what do we do at the mall? As we said before, we shop at the mall. So she shops at the mall. Okay, next sentence reads, give me a second. There we go. It blank for its owner to get back from work. Now, let's see. We're going to pay close attention to this. For, and then a person, for its owner to get back from work. So the person, the owner went to work, maybe, I don't know, the Volkswagen, he went to work, and this specific thing is expecting the person to return. You expect the person to return? Well, that's going to be waits. Now, something important to note here, and I want you all to please pay attention to this because it's easy to forget. Okay, we have here little changes to the verbs, and I think you know why we did this. Runs, shops, waits. It's because whenever we have he, she, or it, we're going to put an S. We're going to add an S to the verb. Remember that he, she, it is third person singular, okay? Let me write that up here. This is third person singular. That's third person singular, okay? So that's why you need to add that S. Okay, let's continue. With we on the phone for hours at a time. So every time they talk for hours. What is this? Talking on the phone. Another verb that we use to express that same idea is chat. We chat on the phone. Next one up, you on your chairs. So we're talking about a lot of people. It's you plural. You sit on your chairs. Okay, you sit on your chairs. Sit. Finally, they point at the boy when I ask who the leader is. Okay, in this case, what we needed to pay attention to was this, at. They point at the boy, okay? In some cases, we don't say at, we say to, but don't get confused with that. It's basically the same thing. They point to the boy, they point at the boy. All right. So much for practice of the vocabulary. Let's move on. Okay. Let's see if you remember. What is the boy doing? What is he doing? He's waiting, right? What about these two kids? What are they doing? I believe they're chatting. Next one. What is he doing? Is he chatting too? No, he's using his finger to give direction to our eyes, right? To show us something. So he is pointing. All right. Let's move on. Let's see. In present continuous. In present continuous, we're going to look at what we saw in class. If you recall, present continuous is the use of, well, as with every sentence, we start with the subject. Then we use the verb be. Now remember, the verb be can be is, am, or are. Then after that, we use a verb in ing. That is if you have a sentence that is positive, okay? A positive sentence is going to use this structure. Let's see. Next structure is the subject, the person, plus a verb be in negative form. In negative. Now, a lot of you got confused with this. Remember that with negative, we say, let's see here, with negative, we say not. Okay, that's what negative is when you say not. Okay, and you can use not separately from the verb be if you want to. It's not a problem. But when we use the contractions, which is the combination of two words put together, we're going to say this. Am not, or not, like I'm not. Isn't, or snot, in the combination when you use it with a subject pronoun. For example, she's not, he's not. And then finally, aren't, are not. Okay, are not in combination again with a person, well, subject pronoun, personal pronoun when we say, for example, you're not, we are not, they're not. And then we use a verb in ing, in gerund form. Remember that, it's a gerund. Okay, so as I was saying, let's see here, for the negative, we have the subject, the verb be in negative, and then the verb in ing. After that, we have the interrogative form, which is the verb be. Again, we can use am, is, are. Then we continue with the subject. And finally, we use the verb in ing. This is going to be for a question that needs for an answer, a yes or a no, a yes, no question. Okay, for example, when you make the question, is the teacher angry? No, he isn't. Or are the students happy? Yes, they are. Okay, that would be present simple. But for verb in ing, an example would be, let's see here, is your sister running? Yes, she is. No, she isn't. Or are your parents chatting? Yes, they are. No, they aren't. Okay, but if you want to make a question with, let's see here, right there, we have what, why, where, or another WH question word. Well, we just put it at the beginning, before am, is, or are. Okay. Very simple. That's going to be an open question, and you're going to use an answer that is a complete sentence, not a simple yes or no. Okay, let's take a look at the examples. For positive, as we said, the person, the verb be, and then the verb in ing. We can say the girl is eating. The girl is eating. Okay. So we have the subject, which is, let me show you, the subject. That doesn't work. Oh, here we go. The subject is right here, the girl. Okay, the girl. And then the verb be, well, it's right here, is. We have the verb be in red. The girl is, oh, that didn't work out. The girl is, and then finally, the verb be is going to be, let me show you. Okay, so let's continue. Now, as I was saying, we have the verb be here with is, and then the verb in ing, which is going to be, let's see here, this right here. Oop, well, that didn't work. Let's see, the verb in ing. I'm going to point it out to you. It's right there, the verb in ing, okay? So that's the first example. I wrote a couple more so we can take a look at them too. We have, we are shopping, okay? We are shopping. Then after that, we have, the dog is waiting. Okay, there we have it. The subject, the girl, we, the dog, and then the verb be. Is, are, and the verbs in ing, they're pretty simple. Let's continue. An example with negative. We have the subject, again, with the verb be in negative, we said, and then the verb in ing. Now, for the subject, in the first example, we have the woman. The woman. The verb be in negative, isn't. And then the verb in ing, shopping. Another example, I'm not swimming. There we have it again. And finally, the students aren't sitting. Okay, everything has ing, and before that, we have the verb be in negative. Okay, for interrogatives, we have, let's see here, are you chatting? Now, this is a yes-no question, as I said before, okay, because we don't have a WH question word, okay? Then after that, we have, is the girl pointing at the book? We have is, the verb be, the girl, which is the person, pointing, the verb in ing. And finally, we have an example of a question with why. Okay, it's the same structure. We only put the WH question word at the beginning. We say, why are you waiting in the classroom? Okay, those are the examples, so things can be a little bit clearer. Now let's see here. For the spelling, we have to do something here. Let's see. For the spelling, we have verbs that end with one E, and the E sound is silent. For example, when we say believe, have, live, take, move, when we put these in ing, we have to drop the E and we have to add ing. Okay, for example, believing, having, living, taking, moving. Okay, this is the spelling for verbs in ing that have a little change. Another one that has a change. We have short one syllable verbs ending with CVC. Okay, now CVC, let's see here, is consonant, vowel, consonant. For example, when we say sit, we have consonant, vowel, consonant. You get it? We have consonant, vowel, consonant, and so on for the rest. Okay? Now, with these, since they have a double final consonant, we add an ing. Okay? We're going to have them with a double final consonant. So in the case of sit, you write here sit. Let me point that out to you. We have with sit right here, we're going to use a double final consonant. We're going to say sitting. We put double T. Okay, the final consonant was a T. Okay, so this T is going to be double right here. This T at the end of sit is going to be double, sitting. The same thing with the others, getting, planning, running, stopping. Okay. Then we have, for the next kind of spelling, we have words or verbs with two or more syllables with CVC. Again, consonant, vowel, consonant. For example, when we say begin, forget, regret, admit, upset. Okay, we're going to use a double final consonant if, okay, this is very important, if the last, let's see, right there, but we're going to put that in red. Right there. If. Only if. I gotta really highlight that. If the last syllable is stressed. Now, if the last syllable is stressed, that means if the last syllable is the strong syllable. For example, with the first word that we have here, begin, we don't say begin. The stress is not on the first syllable. We say begin. The stress is on the second, or rather, the last syllable, okay? That's why we're going to use a double final consonant. For example, beginning, forgetting, regretting, admitting, upsetting, okay? Now, let's see. For the next kind of verbs that we have, they're going to have a little change. We have the verbs that end in IE. For example, die, lie, tie. Okay, we're going to change the IE to a Y and then add ing. For example, here with die, we say dying. With lie, we say lying. With tie, tying. Okay, these are the 4 different kinds of spellings that we have, or spellings, sorry, different kinds of spelling that we have for verbs that change to ing. Okay, now for this exercise, let's see here. Since most of you arrived late, I'm not going to ask you to help me with this exercise because you were supposed to arrive early so that you could understand better what we're talking about. But let's see here. We're going to find and identify everything that is in ing, okay? Everything that is in present continuous, I'm sorry, verbs in present continuous, in positive, negative, or interrogative, okay? We have this year, our school, Edinburgh Castle School, is taking part in the program, Let's Save Nature, okay? So we have the first present continuous verb right there, is taking. We continue. This program tries to help both animals and plants in our countryside, beaches and mountains. Animals and plants are disappearing because we humans are not taking care of them. We have are disappearing right there. We have another present continuous verb. The same thing with are not taking. This person didn't want to make a contraction, which is fine. It's not necessary to make a contraction when you use a negative sentence. But, I mean, it's good to use the contractions. It's just not in this case. The person didn't use it. Okay, we continue. We are throwing our rubbish in the sea. Are throwing, okay. On the streets and in the country. The animals are getting trapped in the plastic bags or getting ill because they eat plastic wrappers. Okay, are getting, next verb in present continuous. Okay, plants are dying, there's the next one, because we are throwing chemicals and rubbish in the forests. Forest fires are also killing, thousands of animals and plants. Our school is now helping. We have another one, is now helping. We are collecting rubbish from the beaches in our city and telling people not to throw anything on them. We are also collecting, there we have it, are collecting, used batteries and other dangerous materials. And you? What are you doing to help animals and plants? We have our first question, what are you doing? Are you littering the beaches and the country, or are you putting your rubbish in the correct places? Please help animals, don't litter. Okay, these are the examples that we have for present continuous in a text. All right, this is like I said at the beginning, only a review. So just don't stress it. We're going to practice with these in the exercises that you have on the school webpage. Now remember that we have class every week. We have class every week, okay? So make sure that you are in the meeting at 12 every day at 12, okay? So that's it for today.